Hey, Matt, can you hear us?
Yep, I got you.
Awesome. We are now joined by our second place finisher in today's South Point 400 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, driver of the number 21, Wood Brothers Racing Ford, Matt DiBenedetto. As a reminder, if you have any questions, please press on the participants tab and raise your hand, and we'll roll right into questions. We'll start with Dustin Albino. Go ahead, Dustin.
Yeah, Matt, with the way the last couple of months have gone, how much did you need this tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it was big, much needed for our team for sure. So I'm proud of the effort and the team. This shows, I mean, the strength that we've had, and it was and this thing's bugging me, so there's nobody around. We'll be right for a second. Yeah, it was we've had the speed and the strength as a team, so it was tough to have a rough first round of the playoffs, because I knew that we have the speed as a team to really contend for it and contend for wins, and we showed it tonight. And we have a lot of really strong tracks coming up, but we have a lot to race for, for the rest of the season. A lot of positions and points, and tonight was just an example of what we've had some frustrating luck recently, and not all luck. Just had a couple of races that weren't good ones for us, where we missed it a little bit with the no practice and such, that we're having to work around in 2020. But then tonight was a great, and we had rough luck at Bristol. We got a tire down at the end when we had rebounded from 3 laps down, and so it just, we got on a little streak of just some rougher luck. But tonight's just one example of the speed and strength that we have as a team, and with Menards, Duracell, all these folks.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Dustin.
All right, next up we'll go to Jerry Jordan. Go ahead, Jerry.
Hey, Matt, good run tonight. You're running there. You're not known to be a rough driver or anything like that, and Kurt said he played some of his strengths to your weaknesses. What was it like in those restarts? And just take us through those runs there, and then I have one follow-up. Yeah,
once we lost control, when we had the lead and we chose the outside, and we lost control of the lead, he got a good push, and I got him the lead. I was like, oh, man, and that was tough, because I knew the remaining restarts, he had a really big advantage on us as far as, our differences in gear ratios. And he knew, Kurt's a smart guy. He's a veteran. And I knew that he was going to, play his strengths to his advantage, and, do the right things on the restarts to maximize his deal. So that hurt us, and it made it tough for the rest of the race. I know my teammate Ryan Blaney tried to push me on that last one, so I appreciate that a lot. But just and I thought we had a car that if it was out in clean air, we definitely could have won the thing. But I'm just proud that we had a shot at it.
And Menards 21 up there for the Wood Brothers tonight, running up front. Obviously not gonna no win, but what about what it means for you for your next year? We heard a little bit about this going into the race on TV. How does this help you, get signed on the dotted line?
Yeah, I think all good runs are great, and this year's been quite crazy. But we know we have a lot of strength as a team and a lot to continue to improve on and build on. I keep saying it, we're just barely. I feel like we've just barely scratched the surface. We're just barely getting started. So we have. I know we can win races and contend. For sure. So as far as this, to answer your question, though, in my situation, I think 2020 has delayed a lot of things that would have been, figured out and set in stone for next year, for 2021, a lot sooner. 2020 has thrown a lot of variables in, so I think there's just a lot of moving parts. I don't know. I'm just kind of speculating, but I'll find out this coming week. But I think it's just a lot of logistics. I feel like, the Wood Brothers are an amazing family, and you can tell they ooze, confidence in me, and that's such an amazing feeling. And same with Team Penske, our alliance with them. I can feel that everyone has confidence in me and our team, and knows, we're only going to continue to get much better. So I don't feel much on that side. I think more just, a lot of logistics and things that they're really trying to work out to get everything hopefully set for next year, because I want to drive for this team for a long time to come. I love driving for the Woods.
Well, good luck and good run tonight.
Thanks, Jerry.
All right, next up we'll go with Jordan Bianchi. Go ahead, Jordan.
Matt, kind of a follow-up question to that. Have you been told that you'll be back with the team next year? I know you said your option hasn't been picked up, but have you had conversations of saying we want you back in the car?
I haven't really. Basically, we haven't had a lot of conversations. It's been more, they know that the deadline is October 1st. And there's a lot of parties involved. I know the Woods love me and I love driving for them. And, so there's just a lot of people and moving parts involved. So it's not only the Woods, it's our alliance as a team with Team Penske. Obviously the support that we get from Ford and all, our sponsors and Menards, like we have Motorcraft, Quick Lane, and the Menards. As you notice, obviously we had Duracell, Menards and Duracell on the car this weekend. We always have a vendor partner on the car. So those are usually typically would be mapped out, pretty far in advance for the following year and things like that. So there's just a lot of moving parts. So I think they're trying to work everything out and, I'll hopefully know my situation for next year. I would hope and expect to be back with the team. I haven't pursued anything else, if that answers your question better. So that's literally everything that I know. And I've tried to be not a pain in the butt and let them try and sort out everything, to the best of their ability, because I know they're really working hard, especially with all the variables and everything that 2020 has presented to them on the business side.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks.
All right. Next up, Jeff from Empire Sports Media. Go ahead, Jeff.
Thanks, Jasmine. Hey, Matt, great run tonight. The number 21 Ford had 2 runner-up finishes at Las Vegas this year after let's just say you struggled at Las Vegas coming into this year. So what was the secret at Las Vegas this year?
The credit all goes to my team. So it's the Fast Ford 21 car, to the Wood brothers, this team, the 21, our Alliance Team Penske, Ford, Roush Yates engines, all that stuff. I was just lucky enough to hop behind the wheel of this thing and it goes fast. So, it's, not me. I just am, my job's to always take whatever I'm sitting in and make the most of it and drive it as fast as it'll go. And when they'll go as fast as they did tonight, we can contend for the win. And it wasn't just an easy race. I mean, we had to work on it throughout the race. Craig Irwin, my crew chief, had to make really good adjustments, and we didn't have to stick any wrenches in the window, so that makes it easy. My pit crew had a lot of they did a great job keeping us up toward the front all night. So really, it was all those things combined. It just goes to show that this is a true, total team sport, and you're nothing without all the guys around you and the equipment you're sitting in.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. Congratulations.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right. Next up, we'll go to Kelvin Lapierre with RLC Sports Network. Go ahead, Kelvin.
Thanks, Jasmine. Hey, Matt, we talked a few weeks ago, and then we talked into going into Bristol here and how important the Bristol race was. You got that flat tire at Bristol, kind of set your night back there with a few handful of laps to go. How important was it to come out here after being eliminated last week and have the type of run you had, knowing that the pressure is kind of off now and you can just go out and race without that type of pressure that you really haven't felt that type of in your career?
I don't think pressure really bothers me much anymore. I've been in so many stressful situations throughout my career that have pretty much groomed me to be prepped for about whatever. So, I was bummed that we did have some rough luck, like you said, and that cut tire at Bristol and things like that. That didn't allow us to make the next round of the playoffs here. But the rest of the season is nights like this, and the rest of the season when we have great tracks coming up and we're strong as a team, we contend for wins, or is fun because we know we just go out there, do the best job we can. We don't have a whole lot of pressure on us. Go out there and try and win races. And also not only that, I mean, we have a lot of positions and points to be racing for as well throughout the rest of the year. So it's just fun. And driving the 21 car, you really, learn to appreciate every single time you strap into this thing.
And with the remaining races, you and crew chief Greg Irwin, how important is it to keep the momentum going and knowing that a contract extension or a pickup of your option could be coming by Thursday of this week?
Yeah, I mean, good runs are so important all the time. Every time I ever strap in a race car, I promise you, every time my career in life has taught me, no matter how long I'm in this sport, every time I ever strap in the car, no matter what I'm driving, I'm always driving. I always say I'm always driving for my life, fighting for my career and my life. You got to be. I mean, this sport is, if you don't perform, I mean, you're not going to have a job. You got to always be at the top of your game and performing. And you're racing guys like, obviously like Kurt, who's an incredible driver and a veteran, and you got Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, and Kevin Harvick, my teammates, Penske folks. All these drivers are incredibly talented and veterans, and so you have to be so good. And be at the very top of your game and put your entire life into this if you want to be successful.
Thanks, Matt. Good luck at Talladega.
Thanks, Kelvin.
All right. Next up, we'll go to Andrew Curlin. Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, Matt, I kind of want to go back to the restart. You mentioned that Kurt had an advantage on you in terms of gear ratios. Is that something stylistically that you prefer, having that different setup? And where exactly did he have that advantage on you on the restart?
Oh, I think whoever had control of the restart was going to have a little bit of the advantage. So we were set up to restart in second gear. He was set up to restart in first gear. So I knew when we lost control, when he got a good push and gained the lead, and we lost control of the rest of the restarts, I was like, oh man, that's going to be tougher, because he was able to slow the restarts down more. I was able to run them at a little bit of a normal, quicker pace, whatever you want to call it. And so, just both of us doing whatever is the best strength for us. So we were set up a little more. I feel like ours works well for when we're in the pack, or, you're trying to make moves. If you're in that particular situation, it just happened to hurt us a little bit. So, but it's all right, and that's part of the game, man.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right. Next up, we'll go to Chris Knight. Go ahead, Chris.
And Matt, I was just wondering how much you were looking forward to maybe going to Talladega next week, knowing how well the Wood brothers are strong there and how well of a gifted plate racer you are.
Yeah, I mean, you always got to work so hard and study so much at for the plate races. So I'll probably sit down with my spotter, Doug Campbell, this week and go over every bit of information, SMT and video, watch some previous video, all that stuff to prepare. But no, it's the best case scenario, driving the 21 car, having the fast forwards under us to go there. And not only that, a big thing is having our Penske teammates, Brad, Joey, and Ryan are incredible plate racers, and obviously our cars, the Fords, are really fast, and having all the Fords on the racetrack. So great situation, and we'll be aware of everyone else's situations too. But as I said before, it's fun situation. Go out there, and we're just trying to win races and have some fun and rack up points.
And Matt, does it bother you at all or concern you at all that you haven't had much talks about 2021 and knowing that deadline is just less than a week away?
I think it would in a lot of situations, but in this one in particular, the relationship myself and the Woods have is incredible. They are, the best people, and beyond an amazing family. And our alliance with Team Penske is great. Relationship with Ford, all that stuff is good. So normally, yes, it would be like very, concerning or stressful. I mean, it is stressful being this late into the season, but I just know the team and everybody so well that there are a lot of moving parts. And I think on the business and logistics side, they're really working hard to get everything ironed out. So I'm giving them much of the benefit of the doubt because of the circumstances that 2020 have presented them. I don't think they intended or wanted to wait all the way down until, the contract deadline. I think 2020 has put them in a tough spot to where they're having to really work on a lot of logistics. I don't know this for a fact. I'm not speaking for the Woods or Team Penske or anybody because they've been working hard and I haven't really bugged them much. I'm just waiting to hear. But that's just my speculation personally.
Thanks, Matt, for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, next up, we'll go to Dominic. Go ahead, Dominic.
All right, thank you. Matt, as you look at these last 6 races, besides winning as often as you can, what would you say are some personal goals for you as a driver and for the team as you close out 2020?
Yeah, I think, getting win number 100 is really the goal for finishing out the season. So that's, I mean, we want it so bad, not only me, but our whole team. We want to get win number 100 for the Woods so bad. I want to do it personally. Driving the 21 car, that's something that I would be it's beyond a dream come true. Driving the 21, every time I step foot in it, you never forget. Like, I look at the car and I'm like, man, I'm driving the 21 car. It's so amazing just as a fan of the sport, from being a kid. So, no, that would be the main goal for this season, and to run consistently and rack up points, because we have a lot to race for. I mean, we're technically racing for up to 5th place in points. So our season is very, very far from over, and a run like tonight was super important.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks.
All right, next up we'll go to Marty. Go ahead, Marty.
Thanks, Jasmine. Matt, great round tonight, man. You kind of just talked about it with Chris about Talladega. You're usually a contender battling with these wins. I look at last year's race at Dega when you're battling for the win until 7 laps to go. And then also you just talked about working with your team, your fellow Team Penske affiliates. How much are you looking forward to contending for a possible win there, and as well working with those guys like Keselowski and Logano to get them in a good spot to be in the round of 8?
Yeah, Talladega's, it's wild. So many variables, and we've, you can either get wiped out or you can have a solid day. But no, the good thing is our forwards and our teammates, we all, seem to work together well. Our cars are fast, so I look forward to going there. But man, it's a pressure-filled week, I think, leading up to it, because you work so hard as a driver with, me and my spotter. You study, I think, more for these more than any other if you want to be successful. So, and actually after Daytona, even though we made the playoffs, I was really disappointed in myself and some of the moves I made or missed. So there's going to be a lot of things like that to go over and study this week. I mean, it'll be many, many, many hours of studying this week, because it's a chess game. It's not normal driving a race car and wheeling it and having the best ability. It's more of a mind game, and also having luck on your side to not get wiped out. You can also do everything perfect and right and then just get wiped out. So hopefully luck's on our side, but you just kind of got to take them with a grain of salt and have a little fun and hope luck's on your side.
Thanks for your time, man, and congratulations on a great round tonight.
Thanks.
Okay, next up we'll go with Sterling. Go ahead, Sterling.
Thank you, Jasmine. Matt, first of all, congrats on the second place run tonight. I know it's not a win, but it's getting close, it seems. With Talladega coming up next week, if a win is not in the cards there is one other race in the round at the Charlotte Roval. Considering your track record on road courses, what's the confidence level going to at least these next 2 races where a win might be in the cards?
Yeah, I think we have a great, shot at all the remaining tracks for the rest of the year. So I was talking with Kelly Stavis earlier. She was in our and we were chatting for a bit about, she was asking some questions about future races where we think we have a good shot. And yeah, obviously Talladega, our cars are always fast, and I've become a better plate racer. I always need to improve. The Roval, I've loved road racing, so that's always fun, and that one's kind of a wild one typically, so great shot for us. But we have the mile and a half we show we're fast at. So we got Kansas, Texas. We were really fast at. We were running 4th and got wiped out earlier this year. And then Martinsville, we were flying. Our car was super fast. Phoenix. So really looking forward to the rest of the year. I think we have some incredible shots to keep on contending up front.
Thanks, Matt. Congrats once again.
Thanks.
All right, next we'll go to Kelvin. Go ahead, Kelvin.
Hey, Matt, thanks again for taking another question from me. You really haven't been asked about the fans at all, and you missed them here tonight at Vegas, kind of a last-second call by the governor. But you're going to get them back for a majority of the rest of the playoffs. How does that make you feel, knowing that the fans are going to be back when you are such a well-liked driver in the Cup Series, and you give a lot back to the fans as well with your cameos and all that type of stuff?
Yeah, man, excuse me. Yeah, it's been so sad, but also I try and look at the positives of situations, and this year's given us an incredible appreciation for having the fans at the racetrack. Every driver you talk to, I promise you, they're saying the same thing. I am. But yeah, that's been my thing, man. I have a lot of fun just interacting with the fans, whether it's fist bumping them or hearing them yell or hearing their stories of my influence on them. And it's just crazy because I'm just a regular guy that's lucky to be able to drive race cars for a living. But I genuinely have a good time interacting with the fans. So this year's been that's been sad, but we also have an incredible appreciation for them when they are on the track. So we miss them really bad. We miss that element. And I even said when I got in the race car before the race, our crew chief, Craig Irwin, leaned in the window. I was strapping in and I was like, man, it's awkwardly quiet here. This is weird. And I said that we were laughing about it before I got in the car. So yeah, look forward to having some at a lot of the remaining tracks.
Thanks, Matt. Good luck again this weekend.
Thanks.
All right. Do we have any more questions for Matt? All right. Thank you, Matt, and good luck next week.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.